sisters and brothers, we as humans birth children into the world, but our society creates thugs. Our children are not born thugs. Thugs are made and not born. Would you tell somebody thugs are made and not born? And this is good news for some of y'all. This is good news for somebody who has a proclivity for ghettoistic conduct. Yeah, I just made that one up. This is good news for somebody who has thuggish behavior. But may I tell you that thuggish behavior is not your natural state, but it's a template, it's a framework, it's a paradigm designed to keep you living below your destiny and short of your potential. You see, substandard living and disenfranchised dreams is what thugging is all about. Now, please, I know some of you are thinking, well, Bishop, I know you ain't talking about me. You talking about my cousin. You talking about somebody on the other row. You talking about Pookie and them, but I know you ain't talking about me. But I'm just asking you this morning to shake off your bourgeois paradigms just for a minute and realize that all of us have some thug proclivities, some ghetto tendencies, and some countrified activities. Matter of fact, many of you live in the midst of a derivative of country and ghetto. Therefore, I make this declaration so that we can enter into this text honestly, clearly, and without the false veneer of religiosity that strangles our ability to see through the Holy Spirit that God is always using thugs to do God's work. Can I help y'all in here today? Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't know this. You didn't know this, Mr. Police Officer. You didn't know this, Mr. Mayor. You didn't know this, Mr. Governor. You didn't know this, Mr. Right-wing media. You didn't know that the Bible, which you purport to live by, stand on, and represent features of God that uses folk that you would label as thugs. You didn't know that God uses young black boys like Trayvon Martin. You didn't know that he uses brothers like Eric Garner. You didn't know that he uses folk like Michael Brown and Jordan Davis. Oh, yeah, Mr. Hannity. Oh, yes, Mr. Limbaugh. Oh, yes, Miss Coulter and Mr. O'Reilly. God uses folk that you think qualify as thugs. Can I prove it? Yes, I can. Let me break it down so you understand what I'm trying to say. There was a thug in the Bible, Sister Selena, named Noah. Come on, preacher. Come on. Yeah. Noah one day was drinking too much gin and juice. Rolling down the street, smoking indo. I hear it over there with my mind on my money and my... Noah was drinking too much gin and juice on the eve of Reconstruction and was laying down drunk and naked in the garden. Help me, somebody. I know a thug, Sister Jones. I know a pimp named Abraham. I hear a deacon saying, "Take it easy, Pastor." Abraham pimped his own wife. You see, anytime you go into a strange land and lie to the folk and say, "This ain't my wife, this is my sister, and y'all can have her and do what you want with her," it sounds like pimping to me. Y'all ain't gonna help me preach it here. There was a thug named Jacob. Jacob was a hustler. Stole his brother's birthright. Oh, yes, he did. Come on, somebody. If there ever was a thug, Jacob was a thug. There was a thug I know by the name of Moses. If you got Moses mad, Moses would give you the royal beat down, kill you, and lay your body in the sand. Come on, somebody. But God said, I want to use this thug to liberate my people. There's a thug, there's a player I know by the name of Samson who went to the wrong barbershop and lost his strength. And what about that thug, that baller, shot caller, named David? If there ever was a thug, David was a thug. Pimping Uriah's wife and then having Uriah killed. But God said David was a man after his own heart. Would you touch somebody and say, God uses thugs? God uses imperfect people. God uses folk with criminal activity in their background. God uses guilty folk. God uses folk that made some mistake. God uses thugs. Now, my sisters and my brothers, please don't look at me funny because if truth be told, there's some thug in you. Because if the wrong person crosses you the wrong way, says the wrong thing, all of a sudden the thug will rise up in you right in the middle of the worship experience. Y'all will be in the middle of the worship experience. Somebody do something wrong. That thug will rise up quick, fast, in a hurry. So don't look at me funny. Just sit in your seat. See what'll happen. The thug will rise up in you. Everybody has a bit of thug in them. Everybody is about that thug life. Brother VJ, you about that thug life. I know Reverend Andrea sitting up here all quaint and looking all innocent, but she got some thug in her. I know she got thug in her. Oh, yeah. Touch somebody and say, yeah, you got some thug in you too. So, Sister Bianca, we see in this text, Jesus is on the cross, and he's being lynched between two thugs. At the moment of execution, the moment of murder, Jesus, the Son of God, is hanging out with some thugs. Come on, somebody. He's hanging out with people who have the same position, but they have a different mission. And folk looking at Jesus and these thugs all assume that because of their condition that they have the same conclusion. But I'm here to let you know that you can't determine my conclusion by looking at my present condition. Because my condition is just an outward manifestation of what's happening in my life. But you've got to get in touch with my internal and eternal connection to understand where my conclusion is going to be. And that's the problem. Folk look at the Michael Browns of the world, at the Trayvon Martins of the world, and think they can determine their conclusion by what looks like their current condition. Well, let me tell you that you don't know my tomorrow based on my today. And I know some of you all are having some trouble envisioning an alternative possibility in the midst of hateful adversity. But God has given me the ability to see beyond right now to a better not yet. Oh, God, help me preach this thing here. And as long as we keep our eyes on the not yet, we don't have to get upset about right now. As a matter of fact, if you're going to get upset about right now, get upset because right now contradicts your not yet. You see, because I've seen not yet, I'm going to work right now to make not yet become a reality. I refuse to believe that right now can overcome my not yet. And I'm here to let you know today sisters and my brothers, if your not yet internal reality is connected to a right now eternal God, you don't have to worry about your right now external condition, because God can work through your right now condition to bring you to a not yet conclusion. Y'all ain't gonna help me preach in here today. I'm here to tell you that God doesn't care about the condition. God is the one who closes the chapter on your right now condition and will give you a new conclusion. Is there anybody here today that can testify that somebody said you weren't going to make it to where you are right now? They said you weren't going to graduate. You were going to lose your mind up in here. But look at you now. In spite of all you've been through, you made it. Do I have a testimony in here that my condition did not dictate my conclusion? So Jesus, Mark Collins, is hanging on the cross, hanging out with a couple thugs. He's in the same position, but he has a different mission. You see, people will try to label you because you live in the same neighborhood as they do, or work on the same job as they do, or drive the same kind of car as they do, and they assume that you're just like them. But you're not just like them, because just because your condition is like their condition doesn't mean your destiny is the same. It doesn't mean your conclusion will be the same. Well, let me help you. Let me break it down for you one more again. I wish I had a bigger bill, but I'm a Kojic pastor. So, y'all work on that. Yes, Lord. This right here, this nice here, $20. Angie Stone said, can you loan me $20 till I get my check next week? If you take this $20 and you do this to it, still $20. If I throw it down here, and do that to it, it's still $20. If I spit on it, spill Kool-Aid on it, come on somebody, it's still $20. In other words, no matter what I do to it, its value remains the same. Whether it's wrinkled or folded, it has the same value. I just came by here today to tell you that no matter what you've been through, you still have value. God imprinted something on you that nobody can take away from you. Touch somebody and tell them you still have value. Oh, if you wear your pants sagging, you have value. If you dropped out of high school, you have value. If your credit is bad, you have value. If you've got a jail record, you have